Greetings, minions, and friends, and family, and anybody else who might see this. Um, it's been a long time since I've vlogged, and for one, I'm doing it in a different way. I'm kind of doing it on a Mac, which I've never done before, so, excuse me for any errors that might pop up. But for two, there should definitely be a trigger warning at the beginning of this vlog, and for two, there should be a trigger warning at the beginning of this vlog because I'm about to discuss some things that might stir up some really ugly thoughts or feelings in you, and I don't want to do that. So if you find yourself triggered by the discussion of depression or suicide, anything like that, please turn the vlog off immediately. Go pick up a book, something happy, something uplifting, something that really reaches you, and read it so that you don't have to expose yourself to something that might trigger something within you. I know it's been a long time since I vlogged. It's been a long time since I posted regularly online. And there's a reason for it. There are several reasons for it. And people have been asking me, why have you not been online a lot? Why have you not been interacting the way that you used to? And what is going on with you? And the fact is, I have my reasons for it. And many of them I can't quite put into words. Many of them are very, very deeply personal. But there are some that I feel that I need to discuss with you because you have a right to know. Several of you have told me I don't owe you anything. And while that's true, that doesn't mean that it's the kindest thing to leave your minions, your fans out in the lurch, your friends out in the lurch, not knowing what's going on with you and just wondering and possibly worrying. So I'm going to tell you the truth about a few things, and there are several things that I'm not going to discuss simply because of self-preservation. The truth is, you all know that I suffer from depression and suicidal ideation, and I have been deep in a depression for really the last 5 years. And I know for a while I was seeing a therapist and I was saying, oh, I feel so much better. My life is just great. Everything's wonderful. But I was completely masking. I was completely wanting so badly for life to be okay, wanting so badly to want to live and to be happy that I was kind of lying to myself and telling myself that I was. The truth was that I wasn't, and I'm not happy. I'm working very hard towards that, towards living the best life that I can possibly live. But to be very honest, I am having a really hard time. Things are really, really dark for me right now. Excuse me if I get emotional. I recently entered a program that's supposed to take a minimum of 6 months, and it's a program geared to help me learn how to regulate my emotions and to help me lift myself out of this pit that I feel trapped in. And so I'm working on that. I'm working on bettering myself. But there comes a point where there is collateral damage when you are working on self-preservation. And the collateral damage for me is that I have had to completely pull away from my online interaction. My personal Facebook, I have unfriended everyone that was not my husband and my 2 children simply because I need to pull away and I need to be just me and just them right now. So I deeply apologize if that hurt any feelings out there. I did not intend that. It's difficult to reach out and tell people, hey, the reason that I'm unfriending everybody and basically leaving online is because, I'm thinking about all these horrible, dark things that I could do to myself. So I apologize if I hurt any feelings out there, but there was reason behind it. There is a method to my madness. And I stopped posting a lot online. A lot of it is not very personal. When I do post, you'll notice that it's largely pictures of my cats or funny quips. But I've been keeping myself to myself. And I want you to know that it's not because I don't care about you. I care very, very deeply about each and every one of you. It's that I have to do what I can to protect myself right now. And a lot of people want to know how my transition is going. A lot of people want to know how my everything's going, how my family's going, how my writing's going. They want to know what I'm doing. They want to know everything. And right now, I just don't have answers for any of those things. Right now, the only thing that I can focus on is fixing myself. And so I plead with you for your patience and your forgiveness at my incredibly unexpected emotional display. I was not intending that. I was intending to come on here and just be like, this is how it is. There you go. Go with it. Do with it as you please. But it's very hard to be fragile. So I am seeing a team of therapists. I am on an array of medications, and I am doing everything within my power to heal myself. So if you will all just bear with me and continue to be patient and hang in there and keep me in your thoughts the way that I keep you in mine, I would greatly appreciate it. I am going by a new kind of nickname I really like. I feel like it aptly describes me. I'm going by Z now, if you haven't heard. If you can hear that knocking in the background, that is Smudge trying to break into my office. But I'm going by Z now, just the letter Z. I feel like it fits me because I've never quite fit into a box. I've never really fit in. And I like the idea of going by a letter, especially an unusual letter, and it just seems to fit me, and I feel really good about it when people do call me Z. So, I mean, if you want to call me Uncle Zac, you're totally welcome to, but I really, really do like being called Z. I've going through a lot, just briefly to touch on the whole transition thing. I've been going through a lot, and there's a lot of things I've been asking myself, and a lot of those things are, how should I? And I've never been that kind of person. I've never been that person that's like, well, how should I behave if blah, blah, blah? How should I behave if blah, blah, blah? I've always been the kind of person that just kind of did my own thing. And I found myself over the past, especially the past year and a half, 2 years, asking myself, well, how should I dress? And how should I act? And how should I this? And how should I that? And that's not me. That's not what I do. So I'm also using this time away from online to kind of come back to myself and be like, look, okay, how should I act? How I've always acted. How should I dress? How I've always dressed. I should be myself. I don't have to show a face to other people to prove anything about who I am, what I am, how I am. So I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy that I'm going back to wearing my awesome punk goth stuff and doing my hair the way that I like to do my hair and being true to myself in that regard. As for the rest of it, the rest of the transition information, honestly, I love sharing with you minions. You know I do. And I have shared so much of myself over the years. But I feel like I've shared too much at some points. And at some point, you have to step back and say, I need something just for me. I need something that is mine that I'm not sharing with the world. So I have to pull back and not share a lot of the personal details of my life because it's too hard. You feel so exposed, and then there's so much pressure, and I don't want that. I want to enjoy who I am, and I want to enjoy and lengthen my life. So I really appreciate all the words of encouragement. I really appreciate all of the notes saying how inspirational that I have been. I apologize if I have not responded to those notes because I'm not in a place where I feel like I'm being very inspirational. But there is a strength in me, even if it's a thread, and I am grasping onto it. And I hope that you see the strength in you and that you will grasp onto that thread as well. Because right now, that tunnel I always talk about, I'm there. And it's very dark. It's very scary. But I know some of you are there too. And if we hold hands, then we're not alone. And we can get through it because there is a light at the end. We can do this together. I know we can. But it's going to take time. And sometimes we're not going to speak. And that's okay too. Because I love you. And I like to think that many of you love me too. Once again, I apologize for the outpour of emotions. I was not expecting to be so emotional during this video. But I just want to put this out there to explain why I've been so quiet and why I've pulled away from everyone in every regard, on Facebook and Tumblr and Twitter and Instagram and email and phone call and in person. Because right now I'm just trying to save myself. I'm trying to fix myself. So if you could just be a little patient, I promise. We'll be back to all sorts of macabre, beautiful jokes and silly cat videos and things like that. But right now, I just need a hug or two. Okay? Anyway, you be safe.